I sort of tricked her into watching it.
I don't think I've ever experienced a vampire like that. It was. I don't. What do? It's like.
Do as I request. Stop for the love of Christ. That's Nosferatu. Hope I'm saying that right. And for you vampire fans, that it's coming from the 1900s or whatever, and it's the first vampire movie or whatever it was. We didn't know any of that. She definitely didn't know any of that, but it was fun to see how she dealt with it as it came.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I think the plot of this movie was so different. It took a while. I think it was a slow burn, and I think there was a lot going on with this movie. I think it took far too long for me. Maybe it's just me not knowing what the movie was about, what to expect, but it took far too long for me to start getting an idea of, okay, fine, this is actually a vampire movie. Because first, based on the wording, the script, I thought it was more like, okay, then I know it was something dark, but I was thinking more like, okay, fine, this is a demon. This is like, is it a demon? Is it not? Like, it's like there was just so much going on, and by the time you feel like you're getting onto what the plot is about, it's like somebody says something in the script and it throws you off. And then Nosferatu himself, I don't know. I don't think I've ever experienced a vampire like that. It was, I don't know. It was like, it didn't give vampire to me. And it was just like, what do? It's like,
do as I request.
It was like, what? Is somebody drowning? What is going on here? It was, yeah. I don't know. I didn't get the plot. Like going back now and I read it, like the synopsis of what the movie was about and all that. Like, okay, fine, it kind of made sense. But I think going in without having like an idea of what the movie was about kind of threw me. So I didn't get what. I think for somebody that's not really coming from like or watching Nosferatu before and having that background. Yeah. It wasn't like a direct hit for the plot, I think.
So people, if you want to, have an unexpected experience, I've said it before, I like when you go into a movie, you've never seen the trailer, you have no idea what it's about. It's like, back in the days when you just switched the channel and something was on and you just started watching it wherever it picked up or whatever. There are a couple moments in it where I don't know if it was meant to scare you or if it was meant to excite you or whatever it was, but I'm just looking at her. I mean, I even repeated some of it. Like, I think I can say, like, there's one part where the guy says, stop for the love of Christ.
That part gave demon. You're like, okay, fine. Is it demon, is it not? But I don't know. The plot, I think it could have been better. Yeah. It was chaotic, I think, to me. It was all over the place. So I didn't really get the plot. I didn't like the plot. But we can move on to the acting.
There's a lot of whys that come from the plot. A lot of why are we doing this?
It wasn't great. I don't think it was, when it comes down to what the plot of the movie was, it wasn't that great.
Yeah. And if you read what it says it's about a vampire obsessed with a woman. Why? You know what I mean? But anyway.
Yeah, I didn't like the plot. I didn't like the plot. I'll just say, it's very low numbers for the plot.
Yeah, I was about to say, what would you rate the plot out of 10? Because everybody I've spoken to, like, because I've asked, it's in theaters now for a while, so I've asked around, a couple of friends and, see what their thoughts are. And someone who doesn't care what genre it is, they said they loved it. And someone who actually cared also said they loved it. But they also said the plot wasn't very good.
Yeah, I didn't like the plot. I think out of 10, I'd probably give it a solid, maybe 4. Like, solid 4. That is 4.
That wasn't planned.
Oh, the plot was a miss for me. Probably. The acting, if we're going to go into the acting, 10. Solid 10 out of 10. Everybody did their part. The girl that was possessed the main actor.
Hold on, I want to start with the vampire because you talked about him before, and you know his voice and all of that. Even though she didn't like his voice, because this movie is like a remake from the 1900s or whatever, and it's kind of holding true to what that was like, what they thought the bad guy used to be. Like if you watched Star Wars and you know Darth Vader's like, oh Luke, I am your father or whatever it is. It's like that's what the bad guy should be back in the day or whatever. So for me, he kept true to that. Also, the friend that I spoke to said that there were no like CGI or any computer effects used in his voice. There's no alteration. That was the actor's actual voice acting. So I think that makes it even 100% better. So he gets 10 out of 10 from me. That's me starting with him. Like perfect. So the vampire, perfect, believable. He does his thing. It sells. I bought it.
Yeah, fair enough. I want, if I'm to judge that like Nosferatu's accent and his voice, Nosferatu. If I'm to judge that, I'll agree with you with that. Yeah. Doesn't mean I like it though. I'm sorry, that's not vampire for me. I'm sorry, it doesn't give vampire. And if you're going to go into that type of voice and background, I think I said this while we were watching it. It's like it's kind of giving Victor from Underworld, like
the Rise. Not giving because you love Victor.
I love Victor from the Rise of the Lycan, Underworld. Yeah, but I think Victor kind of have that deep type of, but it's not. I think he sounds more of somebody that's drowning. That's what I'm getting. Like, is this man drowning? I was looking for whenever they decide to reveal him that he probably has some tube or something connected somewhere. Like I kind of got that, and because it was this film, it was pure darkness. So it's like you really couldn't tell. It's like it's really playing on the actual audio. So what you're hearing and what you're actually trying to picture in your head. And I was expecting something of the sort like that.
Cinematography was really good though, I think.
Yeah, but the acting overall, like I think it's great. Everybody played their part.
The wife, which is the target.
She was and at one point I kept saying to him, it kind of gave, instead of like, and maybe that's what it was supposed to give, that demon exorcist.
Exorcism.
It was more of that. That's what it was. She played. She played that role. Like she actually did her job. Everyone, like acting, I'd say solid 10. Good casting. It just the plot, like for me.
Yeah, lots of for us. I think there were lots of heavy hitters. The cast was stacked. Like she said, the wife was really good. Remember what I was saying? I think this reminds me of like when you hear about plays, like some Shakespeare plays or something.
It does.
Like that.
It does give that.
It's like you're sat in an audience and they're like Romeo, whatever it is.
Yeah, it gave you that really old type of theme, which I think that kind of stayed true to it. Yeah. In a sense, it's just that I just felt like the plot could have been better. But overall, I think for those who are really into this type of movie, it would be a good movie for you. You'll find you'll watch, you'll still at the end have a lot of questions. For me, when I finished, I was like, what did I just watch? Like what was that? Like honestly, that was my genuine reaction at the end, because it just didn't, outside of the amazing acting, everything else was just like,
if you read articles, they'll say it's nail biting, it's ominous, it's brooding, which probably is brooding and to a lesser extent ominous, but nail biting I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
It for me, maybe because I don't know, maybe it's just me, but
maybe it's us.
Yeah.
But it
didn't feel like horror. It felt like, for me at times, comedy. And then there was one moment in it where it felt like, a bit of sadness, a bit of sorrow. Like I felt sorry for the characters.
It was a bit, one scene that got you a bit emotional.
So I laughed a lot.
But outside of that, I don't know. It could have been better. I think with the casting that they had, that it could have been a lot better. But 10 Tell us what you think if you've watched it.
It is worth the watch. So tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.